There was a time, midday, 7th grade. I liked this boy. Now, he was the popular boy, and when I mean popular, I mean like the jock and had all the friends. I was the exact opposite. Well, one day, all I remember is someone came up to me and looked me straight in the eyes and said, "You're too fat for him. You're too ugly for him." Imagine going home and crying yourself to sleep every day because the words just kept going on and on. You cry because you feel like a failure and that you feel like you don't belong in places such as a school. Okay. This is how some people can feel, including myself, when they are bullied. Today, I will be talking about how bullying is bad and how it affects our lives. Starting out with why it's bad. Now, there's a lot of reasons to this, but moving on, we'll get to that later. Next, there is how we can stop the bullying and possibly save lives. Lastly, there is how it will affect us in the future. Negative effects. Everything has them, but bullying tends to be the topic that has some of the most, being able to affect you now or possibly even in the future. According to studies by Yale University Bullying Statistics, they say that bully victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims. Now, if we look at this graph here, you can see that attempted suicide in grades of females can increasingly get higher about the thoughts, the attempted suicides, and the suicides that required medical attention. Now, granted, suicide thoughts can lead because of more than just bullying, but bullying tends to have a massive effect in this area. Bullying can also have an effect on mental health. Being a bully or being bullied can lead the person to have depression, anxiety, and make it where they don't want to talk in front of people. Take Shawn Mendes, for example, one of the most well-known singers and people out there. Well, in 2019, Shawn posted that he was bullied, having kids say things like, "Sing for me, Shawn, sing for me." Now, imagine if we didn't have the singer today, because he gave up and gave in on singing and possibly even the effects of bullying. Human Services from Stop Bullying says parents, school staff, and other adults in the community can help kids prevent bullying by talking about it, building a safe school environment, and creating a community-wide bullying prevention strategy. This being said, if you see this, you can just talk to the person being bullied, and that could also possibly even save his life or her life because they would just need emotional support. Moving on, you could stand up to the bully, so instead of being that person that just sits there oh, yeah, that's right, don't support the bullying, help stop it and say, hey, cut it out. Do you know what you could possibly be doing to this person mentally? Moving on from that, you can just report the bully. You can go to the principal, and if the principal doesn't do anything about it, you can go to the parents, or you can go to the cops. But we all know parents are something that's going to make sure something happens. They're like, "That's my baby, no!" Moving on from how we stop it, there's how it affects us in the future. Future. Everyone hopes they have a good one. Well, bullying can affect your future a fair amount. For example, if you are a bully now, it can lead you to be a bully in future school years, like college, which can make a lot of people not want to be around you. If a lot of people don't want to be around you, that also means you don't have a lot of friends. This could also lead the bully to possibly be depressed or have anxiety themselves. Stomp Out Bullying, the article Leak of the Future of a Bully, says bullies are more likely to become antisocial adults, more likely to be involved in domestic violence and child abuse, and more likely to commit crimes and more likely to have children that are also bullies. This being said, if you are a bully now, you can possibly lead to ending up in jail because you commit a crime, because it's just what you were born to do, you were knowing to do it. And it could also lead your kids to possibly end up lonely and feel like they don't have anybody because their own parent just isn't there for them. Along with that, if you ever are a bully, your spouse has a higher chance of leaving you, and your kids causing them to be alone again and possibly depressed. With your spouse leaving you, that could also lead you to be depressed, and then that could just lead in a negative downfall to where Either you don't make it out or your kids don't make it out. Negative effects. Everything has them, however, bullying tends to be the topic that has them the most, being able to affect you now or possibly in the future. This can be shown first with the effects of bullying and how it affects us. Secondly, with how we can stop it and put an end to bullying and possibly save lives. Third, with how it can affect us in the future and if we stop bullying now. Being called too fat and ugly for a boy can really affect who you are and makes you bottle up your feelings inside. It makes you cry. Cry until you can't no more. So stand up today and help me stop bullying, unless you want your kid to go through bullying and possibly be a bully as well.